Greetings everybody, it's me Knight. Excuse the attire that I have on. I was about to go to sleep. Plus I got this bag back here. I'm trying to do some things, but I wanted to make this quick message, man. I felt compelled to do this. I just came out in the shower. I'm just got to put this out, man. Something made me have this message to put this out here, man, about how come, from at least people's perspective out here as humans, how come it may seem that people who might do evil or just negativity or dark things, whether towards us or just in general towards the world, seem like they get blessed more than the people of the light or positive, people who think they're positive. I wanted to tell you something. All right, throughout my travels, right, and this is why I got my duffel bag here. I was in the military. This is one of my old uniforms, my old cami uniforms when I was in the Navy, and also when I was connected with the Marine Corps. I got my stuff still creased up. I'm not gonna show my stuff, but as you can see, all this, I was in the military, so I'm just confirming I was well traveled. That's my insignia, all this stuff, and I'm not gonna show the rest of my things. I've seen a lot of trouble. I've been in conflict zones and things of that nature, and I not so long ago just retired out. So again, I'm 39 years old, so I'm bringing this up, man. When I noticed this, all right, other than people having negative thoughts and want to do things to people and hurt people, I'm going to start off on something simple. When it comes to people in relationships or connections, right? Say somebody plays around with your heart, they cheat on you, things of that nature. When you keep that person's name in your mouth, like as for example, like you might say, man, I can't believe they did this to me. That MFer, you start saying all these negative derogatory terms. Be aware that, okay, say if this person did play on you, right? You don't, even if they even cussed at you, you don't really know the true intentions of their heart. So again, some people, they have really malevolent, negative energies in their heart. But then there are some men and women out there, they might have cheated, argued with you because they just weren't in the right state of mind, but they didn't really mean to hurt you, but they let their vices get the best of them, meaning temptation to go sleep around. This makes sense? So when they break away from you, y'all don't know, they might have asked God or whatever to forgive them and try to change themselves, but then you're still carrying on speaking negative about them, right? Thinking that, they just purposely did it. And so they're getting blessed because you still got negative words to say about them, even if it's been a year later, and then you randomly see them with a new girl or a new guy in a big house, nice cars, because they've learned to be loving, all right? And so it doesn't mean you deserve to be played around with, but that's another simple way where people can, come up. Again, it was most likely they were going to go into that alignment anyway, but I'm a person that wants to have to tell you guys, be careful what you say, because just how you speak positive, a lot of times the divine can hear you talking negative and you don't even realize why you even got into that situation. It could have been a lesson. And when you're speaking negative upon somebody else, they're blessing them and they want you to see this. So the example for you is to see this, see how well they're doing, but you're not realizing though as well, you added on to that. That's why you see even musicians, certain artists, some people have all these haters, and people might not like every artist's music, but they don't know the person's heart. They might be a part of a negative, music company, but you don't know the heart of the person, right? And so they're kind of halfway getting blessed. I'm getting with this, because the higher source knows their intentions after they leave the record label. So yes, they'll get karma if they ever put any bad messages out, but if they didn't put any bad messages out and they're just making some country song but you don't like and you're just hating, they're gonna get blessed, and then you're gonna have that come back on you. So even if you think you're a positive person, it's gonna come back on you, right? Just like certain countries go to a war or conflict, right? Other than again, a lot of governments and countries are maybe corrupt. What it is also, I said this in another video, is previous karma from history. So like if a country did a lot of other countries wrong from back in the day with manipulation, right? They could be a peaceful country now, but they're still getting karma that is deserved and need to be sent to that country, even if somebody's innocent living in that country. And I'll behoove anybody, if you have the money or anything like that, or know somebody to get out that country or so you can be around an environment where there's more positive energy on the land so you can get blessed, right? And so these are ways that negativity comes in, other than people thinking, oh, it's the devil, or people thinking it's negative energy. Because yes, there is negative forces, but everything has its purpose. But a lot of this is because of what humans brought upon themselves. And even the most positive people not realizing it's their thoughts and the things they state out their mouth is bringing pain to them, right? And also for the fact that a lot of people are not aware of what they did in the past life. And then again, also as well, a lot of people might not have done anything in their past life. It just could have been this life where they just didn't really know their self-worth and allowed themselves to stay in connections too long, right? From my perspective, for what I see. You know this, and this does not excuse anyone who's been beat up, abused, or unalived by anybody they've dated. This is not defending any of that, but I'm just being aware that y'all be aware of, why things play out the way they do. Does this make sense to you guys? And I have to say though, too, unless somebody's tying you up and keep you in the house locked up in the basement, that's one of the very rare percentages of happening to people. Most people, they're just in like drama, negative connections with people cheating. And my condolences and also much love to people. And if anybody has gone through that kind of like tied up situation where you are bound to somebody, but most of the time the divine is showing people signs ahead of time before they even get into a connection with a cheater, any of that. And most of the time, if you have the means to get out, you can go, out of this area of the energy of the people around you. So again, to get back on subject, the main thing about this video is, again, be cautious what you say about even with people who have hurt you. It doesn't mean be like a coward or a softy or nothing like that. Yes, address what you need to say, but it's no reason to continue to talk negative about somebody for months and months and years, and they're not even thinking about you. I hope this makes sense. It doesn't. So, because how are you gonna say you're a positive person, you still got their name in your mouth? Okay, it doesn't mean it's right if they touched you, hurt you, cut you, cheated on you. It's not make it right. But for you to completely heal, even if you still have the memories, you're gonna at least have to, at the bare minimum, stop talking about them in your mouth. Because how the universe looks at it, it's like, oh, you just want to keep these memories, you want to keep these thoughts because you're speaking it out into existence. They're gonna keep those thoughts in your head because you keep speaking about the person, right? It's like the spell you casting spell on your own self, right? I'll give you another example. Even with cultures, right? People don't understand this. If there's enough collective of people that talks down on one culture, they can actually oppress them, okay? So I'm just going to make an example because I don't want to throw racism in here. So I'm going to use two different people. These are just made up people. So say if you had a group of green people, right? And you had a group of blue people. And the blue people don't like the green people, so they try to oppress them and put them in slavery. And then eventually they get freed, right? Now, if the green people keep thinking that they're oppressed, even though there are some negative prejudiced people out there, they will continue to be oppressed, and it'll be hard to get out because of their thoughts. And also, if the blue people keep thinking they're better than them, right, it actually sends negative energy to the green people to keep them from getting out of oppression. And then they'll never be able to understand each other because they're not open-minded, and they'll keep the repeating cycle to the children. So even if the green people and blue people intermix and have mixed babies, it's still not enough of each culture to come together as a team to fight towards love, to unite, and to get out of these negative energies of thinking one's better than the other. And it just keeps repeating cycle, and none of these energies are going to be able to understand each other. Okay? This is how powerful words are in your thoughts, and you speaking out negativity, and also writing negativity about another culture, what they've done. Right, and also just believing everything in history, what another man or woman have stated when we haven't even lived in those times, keeping the curse going upon countries. Okay, that's how powerful this is, and this is something I seen when I was in the service. I didn't need to meditate about this. I didn't need to go ask my guys about this, even though they have shown me things. It's mainly just my observation traveling from many, many, many different countries, third world countries and modern countries. And they all have their issues, and they all have one thing in common, which is that's a big issue, right? And other than the corruption that's already there and things of that nature, okay? So again, I don't want to make this video too long. Just be aware, guys. Be careful what you say. And again, I'm not saying that, okay, you can't tell somebody to leave you alone or get away, or, I'm not saying you can't, flex your chest to get somebody off you, or, speak upon them to move them out. But I would behoove anybody to not let it continue though. Like, again, it's one thing to do it for 2 or 3 days, maybe even a week. But if you're doing this like a month and over, months after month, it's going to catch up. So then you might be looking in your life when you're like 40 or 50 years old, like, why is my life like not the best right now? It's probably because of all the negative things you stated upon others you know, for them doing you wrong, or you thinking that they did you wrong. And then you're kind of putting a spell on yourself, almost putting obstacles on your blessings. So you can be going to school right now, you could have graduated, been working really hard at your job, and you wonder why you got people gossiping about your job, but you might not be realizing that you gossiped a lot about a lot of your ex-partners a lot. You might have gossiped about a lot of your sisters and your family. And so now you're getting gossip at work, now that you deserved it. That's how easy it is to affect your reality, guys. Like I said earlier in the other video, a lot of things in life, most things in life are like potentials. Even though they're set in stone for you to experience these things, depending on how you react, you can lighten the blows. I'm telling you right now, it's the truth, because we have free will, okay? And every day, the divine keeps tabs on us, guys. I'm telling you, it's like a list, like stand on a list. All right, they did this, they did this, they did this. It's not even like a judgment, it's just a tabs. And then they try to give you dreams to have you reflect on them so you can learn your lesson. If you cannot remember your dreams, they'll start showing you signs by making people act good to you or bad to you. And then you got to react. You got to figure out how to react. Do you react in the same way you did before, or you react better? All right? And if you act better, you get positive things, dharma. If you act negative, you get karma. Right? It's just a lesson. But a lot of us just overthink things and say, oh, woe is me. And as soon as you say, woe is me, you just put a spell on yourself, guys. It's that easy. That quick. It doesn't matter what your religion beliefs is. It doesn't matter what your culture is. It doesn't matter how young, how old. You can be 12 years old. It doesn't matter. The divine sees you as all the same. The children of the divine. It doesn't matter at all. And the more we keep trying to overthink things and try to figure everything out, again, like I stated in one of my videos, you're not meant to know every single aspect of life. You're going to drive yourself crazy. Okay? We can look at all the old heads, all the ancient ones, all the philosophers, all we want. Some of them might have been biased. Some of them could have been prejudiced. We don't know. You're just going off of what they observed. And I'm not saying they're not correct on some of the things, but I would truly tell anyone, use your discernment when you're reading anything about anybody. Because in life in general, no matter what culture you're from, what your beliefs is, you're here to find your own truth to the source. That's it. The best way is for you, and live a positive and balanced life as much as possible. Of course, we're always going to have negative and positive. We live in a world of duality, and we just have to accept that. You might not want to hear that. You might not want to see bombings around the world. You might not want to see war. You might not want to see crime, but you can't run away. It's impossible. You can only distance yourself by living in a positive neighborhood or a positive country. But if you ever turn on that news, or you travel somewhere to third world countries, you're going to see it in your face, even if it's temporary. There's no way out of this, guys. Okay? And yes, I'm a man of love and light and all this positive stuff, but because I've seen some gruesome, dark things and around the world, and also things that happened to myself, life, death situations, and coming back from death and all that stuff, at the end of the day, I'm grateful to be here. But I'm telling you right now, nothing's easy in this life, but we can make things smooth as possible. We can try to make it smooth, though, all right? And then again, some people never go through anything. Hey, lucky on them, but at the end of the day, it's like a repeating cycle of the same thing. So again, be cautious what you say. And I just wanted to say this before I call it a night. And for all y'all who was wondering, like I think I stated before, I can't really show everything because my name's on these uniforms, and it's like my personal business. I was in the military. I did my time. I'm glad to be retired. I did my time. Went to college and all that, and I'm glad to be home, free, before anything crazy broke out. But as far as like in the world, because like I said, my dad was in Desert Storm. He's seen a lot of stuff. I've been in a lot of things. And yeah, man, I just want to teach y'all something, well, show y'all some things that I might know that y'all don't know, other than me doing, my mediumship, tarot, things like that. And I am going to, another video I might post if anyone wants to know this, because I've heard a couple of my, followers ask about like readings and do I do things like that, and I do, because I do work for a site called Everclear, but I'm trying to do something on my own personal thing, because on Everclear, they just, it's like mainly they want me to stick to a certain guideline, like career, love, family, passing, when people pass away, but they won't let me talk about like say if somebody wanted to ask about if they're possessed or demons around them, they won't let me go on the witch side or the darker side of things, what people would perceive as witchy or negative. But there's things I've seen in my life. I've seen souls pass over. I've seen crossover spirits speak to me and channel and tell me they want me to tell their daughter they miss them and stuff like that. So that's why I'm trying to set up another site with that. So again, I work for a site called Everclear, where my real name is Dominique on there. Even though I call my name here is Knight, but my name on the Everclear site is Dominique. I might post it on this channel, I don't know. But if anybody wanted a reading, you can just DM me on my Instagram. I do have a TikTok, Series 6 is on my descriptions. Those are all actually on my descriptions. And I will send prices on that if somebody wanted that on there. But nonetheless, You know, this is something right now on this YouTube. I just doing it as for an enjoyment, to just send positive messages of awareness to people. And on the side also as well, I just throw out these collective tarot readings or these pickle pal readings. And every once in a while I do put on a paranormal, I talk about paranormal stories and experiences that happened to me personally. Not that you're gonna read in a book, like paranormal stories, whether it be from a home that was haunted, or ships that were haunted that I've been on, or even countries. Next time I think I'm gonna talk about what happened to me when I was in Saudi, with like spirits and stuff like that. It's just all kind of crazy stories I got. I might even talk about one of my military stories when my ship got hit and we were sinking in the water, me and the Marines. But I might, it depends, because this is still mainly a spiritual channel. But yeah, man, I wish you guys the best. I'm probably gonna also talk about I'll make another video on love connections, and how spirit works on that, because I made one earlier today, but I'm gonna make another one. I might make a part 2, things and how I see how life plays out with that, with love with people. And also from my standpoint, from being in the military, also for what I've seen, how people are, all cultures around the world. I'm very well rounded, and again, I don't know everything. I just speak on what little I do know, which is, to me, it's a good little bit of information. All right, so with that being said, I wish you guys the best of days or nights wherever y'all at. And with that being said, my name is Knight, and blessed be everybody.